Hey guys, welcome back. This is our recap for week 10. We faced off against the Swarm, had a very close war, came down to the last second. So very good performance on Town Hall 9. So I think on both sides, this new meta is we've got bases need to change, bases need to get upgraded, updated, and maybe it'll start helping things out. But both sides had pretty similar performances. That's why I guess it ended up in a tie. They had some really nice high percentage 2 stars in our 11s. Both sides, I think, went 3 of 6 on their 10v11s, and both sides had 2 10v10 hits. We just came down to the last minute. I think we should have had it. I think we were pretty disappointed in this. But it was overall still a good war, a good game to Swarm. Sorry, kind of tapping all over the place here, but I'm going to go ahead and recap these 10v10 hits. These are both done by the one and only Leo. Like so many of our 10v10 hits are. Leo does a really cool on both of these attacks. They're really cool. So this is a stone. This is a ground attack. OP loons don't matter. Comes in with a stone and is going to funnel off the whole side of this base and is going to wall break in here. Even under Inferno beams, there's just not quite enough overlap here, and the wall breakers can just sneak to the wall. He funnels all that off, gets his 2 golems and drops his 3rd, following up behind it. Gets them all funneled in there, and then has some CC bowlers that come in. This gets into the range of the CC, triggers out a whole bunch of archers and a baby dragon. He raises up his BK in there, and there's a rage that his queen is still hanging back in and got his bowlers in really quickly, and they're funneling off this whole side of this base. And then he's got a free spell here for his bowlers and for these hogs whenever they first come in here to start getting these point defenses down. And then the hogs funnel right onto that second Inferno Tower, get it down pretty quickly, and then he's got a heal for him as soon as they start coming over to the next point defenses, and he's losing a good many of them to springs. He lost his queen there in the core and missed the phase even, and still had, thankfully, these bowlers that ended up hanging out and working on some cleanup over there, and just has a gigantic pack of hogs still up with plenty of health and a couple of queen up wizzies, a couple of cleanup minions, and starts that cleanup from the core, and they kind of spread back out and wrap all the way back around. So no need for air and no need for your queen phase. Town Hall 10 is super easy. That's what Leo says, at least. Here's his second Town Hall 10 triple of this war of 10v10s. He's still got a couple of ice wizzies he's been holding on to, and he's going to take advantage of them. Starts off with a little queen walk here, and he's got a double jump and free rage for this attack. He's just funneling all this off with his wizards. I think I just said wizards, but wizard is the word. Gets the queen to walk into this going and puts her right into the Inferno Tower, and he's going to swap a rage for, I think he's going to end up having to, no, he's going to be able to save the phase. Inferno beams finally lose their effect, and now he's got his healers in that rage, keeping the AQ healed and getting her pushed back up. He's got wall breakers for 2 layers of walls there, and his ice wizards were able to come in and snipe down that wizard tower that the giant was tanking. And then he's got a golem over here to start funneling off this side so that he can get a little push here with his bowlers, and these ice wizzies are helping out a lot. How they target defenses is really nice for those funnels. And here come a few bowlers and a CC bowlers, and they're all going to take this jump here with his BK, and his golem still has a good bit of health, and it's going in there pretty quickly and knocking down some triggering giant bombs that are on that Inferno Tower. And he's going to come in here, put down his second jump, and he's going to get to the 4th air defense that's there on the other side of the base where his Queen and BK are. And then he's got 4 baby drags, a few more, few loons with some haste spells, and a few minions that he's going to be able to clean up a whole chunk of this base. He's lost all of his healers, but this time he does get his Queen phase, thankfully. I think he would have needed it on this one. Actually, probably not. But he gets in the core here, and with his Queen, and is able to get down those Wizard Towers, which are really the only thing that were potentially going to cause a lot of damage to his loons and to his baby drags. So he's got 3 baby dragons up, processing all the leftover buildings, and a couple minions at the end to help out. And that is another Town Hall 10 triple. Great War Leo. Leo also 6-packed on his Town Hall 11. So big help. Great War Leo. It's pretty awesome to watch that. This is Peled coming in here doing some OP loons. I'm going to recap. I think I'm going to get both of his attacks in here. He just did some fun stuff. Got the air portion lured out of the CC and gets his BK. And Archer Queen is going to come in here, and he has a CC Hound, and so with only 4 Hounds, he's going to get all of this base with not going to get a single air defense. He's going to funnel all this off over here, and he's going to get his Queen some access to this compartment here so she can get a little bit deeper. That's my text messages. I'm really cool. Lots of people text me. And Queen's pushing in here, getting into this compartment, and isn't really getting a whole lot. It's just going to help his loons path, because he's got this kind of the way these ADs are laid out. He knows his hounds are going to path from here to here and around, and so he funneled off these defenses here so that his loons would also take that same path. So he's got a haste and a rage, and he, actually lost all of his pups there on that first pop of that hound, but had the second one there, and had rage for his pups, and I think his the defending AQ got dropped on, and then he's got this heal spell over here to deal with these Wizard Towers, and a haste spell to help them get through there, and then he's got his last hound to go down fresh on that air defense, and then there's this grounded expo here, and the air one here is getting put down, so he's got this nice haste spell to kind of connect the last loons right to the air defense. So he's got a lot of pups over here wrapping around, and loons down here on this end getting the other end of the cleanup. So nice hit, and welcome to Alchemy. I think this is his 2nd or 3rd war now, and really nice having him for CWL. Really good attacker, and glad to have him. Here's his 6-pack, because this is just a funny attack. He has just about every way you could possibly fail on this, but he's got a mix of loons and hogs and golems and a hound. So he fails sniping down that mortar. I don't know if he just didn't notice that air sweeper. I'm not sure. I'll have to, maybe he can chime in and let us know. But he went out that portion of the funnel. He's able to get this golem here to tank this compartment so that his queen can do a little naked queen walk here. And I think he wanted his golem to then go from here back over to this mortar, but this just barely, I guess there's a little bit more distance to come over here to this wizard tower. And then he has some wall breakers coming in, and no test wall breaker eats a giant bomb. Puts down his jump, his queen's walking on him, his other golem's walking on him. So they're going that way, and he's getting into the core though, and so he has to jump in. Can't really get in that deep, but he has to jump where his attack is done. But does the rage and heal on his bowlers, and they're able to get a lot of value there. And with that, they now have he has his BK pumping, getting through that wall, and he's able to start his hogs over here to get down that air defense. and then there's still one more air defense here in this town hall in his compartment with his archer queen. I'm sorry, I'm just blurting out all kinds of stupid stuff. I don't know why I don't use profanity on these recaps. I think I've noticed that. I think I was going to stick with it at this point. I don't think anyone cares, but gets the Archer Queen with pups, minions, and a Skelly spell, and has these loons coming around to get this last grounded expo. So a little bit of the kitchen sink type attack. He had a big bar full of troops. Archer, wall breakers, loons, wizards, baby drags, minions, hogs, hound, golem, did I say golem? And CC bowlers. So, very nice attack, Peled. I'm biased, and I have a decent attack for once. That's not something boring. That's ground. This was... Swarm had a lot of bases with hounds in them, so we did a lot of air attacks on them. I'm going to start a little funnel here and Zapquake this AD over here so that you'll get that proper rotation of the loons, and kind of like we were showing it earlier on one of those attacks, I'm going to get my heroes to come into this compartment, so I kind of funnel this off on this side so that my king would come in, aggro the defending AQ, and kill her quickly, and then his next choice will be to go through that wall. So I go ahead and start putting my hounds down, start putting my loons down, and my BK is going to go in there, and AQ is going to help clean out that compartment. AQ is going to eventually come around here, and or BK is going to push in here and trigger the CC. So the hound does come out on me, and the whatever gender lava hound is comes over, and so my queen gets to deal with that. While that's going on, though, I've got plenty of hastes to move all these loons around. Only had 4 hounds and a whole mess of loons to get through these 3 air defenses, and held on to an extra loon just for the cleanup purposes. So my queen is finished dealing with the defending hound now, so a couple pups ended up running away from her. So I've still got her for cleanup, which was nice, and I've got pups all over the place, a whole mess of loons, and one more loon to put down over there to help out. So yeah, I'm biased. It's pretty boring, but just trying to show these OP loons off. Don't really even need rage spells anymore for these types of attacks. They're just paste the base in hastes, just paint it in haste, and the loon drops are just so unbelievably quick. This is Q on Big Boss. He's got lures a golem out of a CC, and then he's going to start start making a funnel over here, and puts down a little queen charge that he's going to get some really good value out of. And this is one of those kind of anti-air bases, so to speak, where they do their best to keep the ADs on the exterior and try to force you into using a ground type attack. But there's ways to thwart it depending on the layouts of the base and depending on all sorts of different things. He's able to get a test wall breaker in there that does not die to that to the one that was to the small bomb that was outside because it was under rage, and then that wall breaker goes in and hits that wall, and so he still has these 2 more wall breakers, which are just enough to get down to the second layer and open up that compartment there, which is really nice. So he's got his BK going down, funneling off that side of the base. His queen is now charging in. She's going to charge in, and he's got a rage for her because she's about to step in and be dealing with Expo and a few other things, and he was expecting to deal with BK also, but she'll be full health, and he still has her phase. And then over here he starts his little bit of Lalo with a whole bunch of minions from behind, so this is much like his first attack. He's got a poison for the queen and rage for a few pups, and a few, I think there's only 2 or 3, or I think there was a 4 originally, and then the queen started targeting something else. She starts doing her little dance, but that's enough to take out a queen under poison. So it's a nice attack. Has a whole ton of minions and pups and loons left over, and his queen still up with her phase. So it was a really nice attack. Nice to have Peled in the clan and warring for the Champions War League. So good game to the Swarm. Great percentage on our Town Hall 11s. I'll show that off to them. They show that off for them. They're very, very respectable guys. Good war. I think we're pretty good friends with the Swarm before this, and after this we'll continue to be good friends as clans. I think we've gotten a few, arranged against those guys as kind of friendlies. So continue to have that relationship with them. Good game to them. And we'll catch you guys next week. Great is Alchemy.